God, you got a beautiful smile, Margaret. Just lights up a room. Just lights up a room. We need to lighten up your screen behind you.
Yeah, that coat makes it look like
it does. It makes you look even darker. It's like we've got 50 shades of brown going on in here. Yeah. Right? Like a little brick brown, red brown, flannel brown, Margaret Brown, all the Browns. Anyway, it's Monday night. That means it's time for society and culture news on the Fair to Stop podcast channel, the #1 channel where law enforcement first responders go to be informed and entertained 5 days a week. Because you don't need mainstream media or mainstream radio. You got us with other shows like the Anti-Hero podcast or Two Cops, One Donut, who just had Kyle Rittenhouse on. Or we have the Donut Shop. Or we have a lot of shows on this channel. We even got a kids show on YouTube called Rad Kids Club. Got a little bit of something for everybody tonight. We're covering the Taylor Swift terrorist plot, and that plot thickens, so there's a lot to it, a lot more than you think, dating all the way back to what happened with Ariana Grande back in Manchester. So all of that kind of coming full circle. We'll talk about it. And then we have this Joe Rogan lawsuit for 30 million on NBC for some NBC fake news, which I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago when NBC was all about being anti-fake news. A lot of fake news coming out from NBC, though, in this last year, and brought to you in part by Joe Rogan. Going to jump into that. And then Danny Masterson from the 70s show, who's rotting away in prison for the next, 60 years or 40 years, 30 years, whatever it is. He just got moved to a maximum security prison. There's a little bit of drama, Hollywood drama behind that. So we'll jump into that. And then we'll start the show off after the intro with something, if you're a longtime Wolfpack fan, if you've been following Eric Tanzi since my drinking bro days, one of the best interviews that I ever did was with Khalila Ali, Muhammad Ali's first wife. I think she's the most brilliant human being ever. Love her to death. I could care less what her politics are. I've met her. I've spent 2 days with her. I think she's a phenomenal human being. She put out a tweet today, and I'm going to play that for you guys because, I don't know, it's a little icing on the cake on how I feel about Khalila Ali. Brought to you today. Tonight's show brought to you by ghostbed.com/Wolfpack50, 50% off. And then we've got factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 for 50% off from Factor Meals. Take it away, Jennifer.
The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on Sunday.
This is about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Whoa, the live chats are growing. And listen, Felony Melanie, Armory Knights, Teresa Flober, difficult to look at pictures. David J. Kachow says dead leg. Bosco Autry, Will Cray, thank you guys. The usuals, Davey, appreciate it. Hey, do us a favor, since I'm absolute shadow banned since we lost our first channel 4 years ago. Rest in pieces. Even though 99% of our listenership comes from audio, we do love our paid YouTube members and just our YouTube subscribers in general, even the non-paid ones. Do us a favor, guys. Just hit the share button. Share it on your Facebook. It doesn't matter if you have like 6 followers or not. It helps us in the algorithm. So go ahead and share us over. That way we get more people in the YouTube chats. It's always fun, especially later on the show when the more people are jumping in and asking questions. It helps me fill up time when I'm asking. Oh, by the way, we didn't do our shimmy. I'm with comedian Margaret. Comedian Margaret, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I felt a little down though.
Why?
Cause Jay.
I know. Jay's got the foot problems.
That's why he could have rested on my lap. Nobody would have known his leg was over.
Did you see his toe?
Yes, I saw that.
You want that? You want that on your lap?
Well, I'm a diabetic too, so I have a little compassion about stuff like that.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't care if all 5 of my kids and my wife have diabetes. I'm not letting them put a half lopped off foot on my
wrap, I'm
not doing it.
Yeah, I would let him put it on.
But you're a good person, though, just in general. You're a good human being. I'm not. Kind of a piece of shit, self-proclaimed. You're welcome. A big week this week for me, flying out to Texas this week with George Wilson and meeting up with Yako Booyans at the Mercury One Blaze TV studios. Get to sit on a human trafficking forum out there in Dallas for a couple of days. So I will be out there this Thursday and Friday in the Dallas area. So if you're around Thursday night, hit me up. If you're in Dallas, maybe we can grab a pint somewhere or hang out or do something. I think they've got a rodeo for us to go to, but I'm not sure on that. Anyway, if you're in the Dallas area, hit us up. Also, October 18th, Evergreen Terrace, bunch of other hardcore metal bands on Saturday night, live podcasting all weekend, Podcast-a-Palooza in Orlando, Florida. Everybody's staying at the Sheraton, North Orlando. And then that Friday night, we've got a big comedy show. Me, Margaret Owens, Jay Durrell, maybe a couple other comedians. We will be taking over Tactical Brewing Company in Orlando for the night. Lots of comedy, plus a live podcast. We've got Kyle Rittenhouse coming out. We got Eddie Gallagher coming out. We got Conservative Anthony coming out. It is going to be an absolute rager on October 18th. Be there or be square, but don't be square. We want to see you there. Deadleg, thank you for producing for us tonight. We appreciate you and all of our producers here at the Filler Stop Podcast Family Network. We've got Deadleg and Jonathan Bates. Listen, let me give you a little backstory on this, Marg. Can I call you Marg?
Sure.
Can I call? I feel like in the South they say Shug. I'm not doing that, but maybe I'll call you Marg.
Marge.
Like
Marge.
Marg? Marge?
Yeah, Marge.
Marge. Get some Margs with Marge. Like margaritas with Marge.
Right.
That would be fun.
Yeah. That
needs to be a shirt with like rhinestones. Like crabbing Margs with Marge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you ready for that? Are you October 18th comedy show, by the way? Are you excited about that?
I'm excited.
It's going to be a rager. It's going to be a rager. It's going to be number like first responders, veterans, Orlando. And your humor is going to be so much different than anything they've ever seen that they're probably going to laugh as hard as I did the first time I saw your act.
Really? Oh.
I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Top 10 live shows I've ever seen. So we're excited. Okay. So when I started podcasting, I started with the Drinking Bros Podcast Network, Dan Holloway, Ross Patterson, Jared Taylor, all those guys, Jack Mandeville. And I started out on a sports show, and I got to have Khalila Ali on as one of the guests. And at first I was like, why are we doing Khalila Ali? Like Muhammad Ali's like, is she famous just because she was married to Muhammad Ali? Like, that's cool, right? Like Muhammad Ali's pretty badass. And then I met Khalila Ali for dinner the night before the show. And I was just like, she was coming with bodyguards and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? Who is this woman coming on our show with bodyguards? And like, we got to go to dinner with her like the night before the show. Like, this seems a little bit weird. Like, cause we had NFL football players on. None of that happened with those guys. So we go out to dinner and she starts telling stories at the dinner table. And I am like, these cannot be true. Then I fact checked. They're all true. These are all true stories. This woman, Khalila Ali, Muhammad Ali's first wife, is probably the most interesting human being I have ever met on the planet. So she wrote one of the big Muhammad Ali poems, like the first, I guess, viral back in those days poems. You know, maybe you remember Muhammad Ali's poems, right?
Right.
Well, she wrote it at 14 years old, sitting at a breakfast table with Malcolm X and MLK Jr. and her dad. She wrote that poem on a napkin, and she, at the end of breakfast, she gave the napkin to Malcolm X, and she said, when you see Cassius Clay next, hand him this. She's 14 at the time. So then I was like, wait, hold on. Why were you having breakfast with Malcolm X, Malcolm X and MLK Jr.? She's like, because my dad was one of like Malcolm X's really good friends and MLK's good friends. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, that's like Khalila Ali, that's like, I'm Muslim. Like, so I was part of the Malcolm X brotherhood, sisterhood, and all that. She's like, matter of fact, I was behind Malcolm X on stage for most of his events. And she started showing me pictures, Polaroids, like not Polaroids, but like old ass pictures of her standing behind Malcolm X's little white dress, like unbelievable photos. So then I was like, well, finish telling me the story. What happened with this poem? She said, well, after breakfast, well, the reason why I wrote the poem was because Sonny Liston said, I'm going to beat that black Muslim. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I'm a black Muslim. But I don't think she said she cared about the black part as much as she cared about the Muslim part. She thought it was like a spite on her, because Sonny Liston was black too. So it wasn't like a racist thing. But like she thought it was like a spite on like her being her religion. So she writes this poem, gives it to Malcolm X. Later that day, she's playing out in the street, and one of her sisters comes up and is like, you need to get home now. Dad wants you. And she was like, that's never a good thing. So I really took my time going home. Little did she know the reason why he wanted her to go home was because on the news live, Muhammad Ali was reading her poem to Sonny Liston live on the TV. Pretty badass, right?
Yeah. Now, was it? Which one was it? I mean, you remember which one it was?
Can you? I don't know, Deadleg. If you, while I'm finish telling the story, will you look up Khalil Ali? Well, I don't even know if you have to look up Khalil Ali's poem because it might not even come up. But like Muhammad Ali poem to Sonny Liston, and see if that comes up. She said it verbatim on that podcast that I was on. I just don't remember it. I don't think it was the Sting Like a Bee one.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about was it.
But I think she helped him with that one too, because she's the one that I think got him into writing the poems. But anyway, he ends up wanting to be with her, but she's like 14, and she tells him, I'll never be with a dude whose name is Mud. And he was like, what? And she's like, your name is Cassius Clay. It sounds like mud. Yeah. And you have to have a Muslim name if you're going to marry me. So a couple of years later, he changes his name to Muhammad Ali, and then her and Khalil Ali get married. And not only did this happen, but Khalil Ali also, what's his name, came out gay to her in the Playboy Mansion in that time frame. Who's the guy that played music that was super gay with the glasses, the little round glasses? Elton John. Elton John. Sorry, Elton John. Elton John came out gay. She was showing me Polaroids with her, Muhammad Ali, and Elvis.
Oh, wow.
Like she had him in her purse. Like just crazy shit, right? Wow. While I was talking to her at the dinner table, Justin Bieber calls her. Justin fucking Bieber. Because she races cars with Justin Bieber. Also, Jane Seymour. You know who Jane Seymour is?
Jane Seymour?
Yeah, Jane Seymour, Dr. Quinn. Remember Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman? Yeah. So she FaceTimed with us.
Wow.
Then I do the podcast with her the next day, and Donald Trump calls on speakerphone in the middle of the podcast when he was president. Wants to talk golf with her. In the middle of my podcast, when we were doing this live at a brewery, there was like 100-something people there in the audience. Her phone rings, and she goes, oh my God, it's set to silent except for when Donald Trump calls. And I was like, well, that's not Donald Trump calling you. And she was like, boom, it's Donald Trump calling her.
Wow.
She answers the phone on speaker, puts it up to the mic, and they have a conversation about golfing.
Wow.
Dude, the most incredible person. Also, Khalil Ali was the first, opened up the first female flight school in Pakistan. She also opened up 2 etiquette schools, inner city etiquette schools for inner city underprivileged children, one in New York and one in LA. Like this, she has done so much. This was this today on her Twitter? Deadleg?
Yep. About an hour ago, it looks like.
About an hour ago. This is Khalil Ali, best friends with Jackie Kennedy back in the day. They were besties, went to Neiman Marcus together, all sorts of shit. Told me all these stories. Literally, the best podcast episode I've ever done on this day. If you ask me, of all the celebrities I've gotten to interview, Khalil Ali is my favorite. This was her over an hour ago on Twitter. Play this video.
But I'm voting for Trump, so I don't care what nobody believes. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what you think or whatever. I've studied what Trump wants to do. I studied what Trump wants to make change. I saw what Trump has tried to do. And people who just want to be a hater, they don't get in the information that they need to be. Yeah. A guy asked me the other day, why are you voting for Trump? And I told him why. I gave him 5 reasons. He said, at least you told me a reason. Every time I ask somebody else about it, they never give me a real reason. But at least you gave me a reason. I accept your question. I accept your answers. That's all I got to say. And I don't care what you think. I don't care. I don't care. I believe in something. I believe in something. I don't care what you believe, and I don't care what you don't believe. It don't matter to me.
I don't care.
Dude, she's amazing. Okay, you can stop it there. So when we were talking to her, Khalila Ali left Muhammad Ali. She left him. Didn't ask for no like money or nothing. She said, if you cheat on me again, I'm leaving you.
And he did it.
And he cheated on her again, and she left him. And she put up with him for years and years. They were ride or die, but she had some great stories about about Muhammad Ali. But then she just said, but like he could not keep his hand out of the cookie jar. But it was the fame. He never could handle the fame. He got pulled in many directions, and he never knew what to believe. And Khalila Ali, she was telling us on the show, she's like, I've always been a woman of truth and principle, and what I believe is what I believe. I don't care what everybody else is around me believes or thinks. She's like, I go after it. So she's like a 9th degree black belt. She was in the Bruce Lee movie with Akeem Olajuwon. She was on the cover of Ebony magazine. She was in Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. She was in that movie too. Yeah, Enter the Dragon, because she's just fucking karate and stuff. She doesn't swear anything, so I felt terrible swearing around her. And then after the show, she went to my distillery, even though she doesn't drink. One of her bodyguards found out that I was an active cop and started giving me shit about being a cop, and she fucking stepped in. Her bodyguard, she told him to stand down, like, and she was like, you can go outside. You can go outside. And I was like, thinking I'm gonna get my ass whooped, because it was like the Muslim Brotherhood. And she said, she went on, she looked at the rest of the Muslim Brotherhood guys, and she's like, this guy's been kind to me, he's been polite to me, he's helped me with open arms. At the end of the whole thing, Mark, she did not charge us or give me a bill for the hotel room or the food for 2 days.
Oh wow.
One of my favorite people of all time. So when I saw that, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Because I didn't know that she was voting. Because when Trump called her, the crowd kind of was like weird, because it's 100 people. So you think if it's split 50-50, 50 people. And so all she said was, so a lot of y'all out there, when this was her exact words, you can go back and listen to the podcast, but she was like, a lot of y'all, when y'all found out Trump called me, y'all were like, yeah, I love Trump. And then a lot of y'all were like, boo, I hate Trump. She's like, let me tell y'all something. Y'all don't know Trump. I've known Trump for over 30 years. I golf with him monthly. She's like, I've been to his Mar-a-Lago house 1,000,000 times. I live right down the street from him. She's like, I personally know him. I can personally tell you I love Donald. He's a great friend of mine, and we don't have to talk politics, or I don't care who you're voting for, but he is a friend of mine. And like, that's all she said. So I didn't know if she was but then there was a man when we were eating dinner that came and recited the poem with her. This white guy came over to our table. This is the craziest thing, because I didn't know who Khalila Ali was. I'm sitting at this table. There's like this Muslim Brotherhood behind us. It's like awkward. I was kind of like iffy, because I was like, she's not a pro athlete. Like, what's going on? And oh yeah, I'm sorry, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, not Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm sorry. I'm not really great with my basketball karate culture, guys. Davey. Yep. Rugby Dave. Thank you, Davey. So thank you, Davey. And so we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, this white redneck dude, you know, like Clayton, right? Like, Claytonians, like, just a regular Claytonian, a little bit of a belly, you know what I mean? He's got this trucker hat on, not the red one, not the Make America, just like the red, white, and blue American Eagle, like Trump hat on. And the dude comes over to our table, like he's sneaking in. And I'm like, and the bodyguards are kind of like ready to go. And he's like, Miss Ali. And she turns his head around, and he was like, I am Muhammad Ali's biggest fan. And he's like, I love your work, your poems, blah, blah. And she's like, you don't know my poems. You don't know my poems. You just saying that. You just think you know who I am. You don't know my poems. He starts off on this poem. They end up saying it together. He breaks down in tears. She brings him in to the Khalila Ali bosoms, lets him cry on her shoulder, whips out a photograph out of her purse, signs and autographs it of her and Muhammad Ali, and hands it to him, and he was like fucking weeping. He was shaking. Wow. He was like, I've never I never got to meet Muhammad Ali. I'm a huge Muhammad Ali fan. His wife was fucking crying. Like, this is a powerful woman, dude. Like, when you're in her presence, you get this sense that I'm in the presence of greatness. Like I can't explain it to you to this day. I mean, I've been with Kid Rock, Ron White. I've been with Chuck Liddell. I've been with the dude who killed Bin Laden. I've been with tons of these celebrities, a bunch of football players, Patriots guys that were on the show, Steelers guys. Willie Parker was on the show. Rob Thomas from the Dallas Cowboys. What's the other Dallas Cowboy guy that's really good? Number 88. What's number 88? Everybody hates me for not knowing who he is. Everybody hated me the night that he showed up. Oh, they were so mad when I didn't know who he was. Still forget his name. But anyway,
Michael Irvin.
Michael Irvin. Damn it. I thought he was a basketball player. Everybody's really mad at me. Almost kicked me out of his suite. Yeah, Julius Irvin was a basketball player. But anyway, I've been around all these guys and none of them, I never felt like that this person is great. Like I'm in the presence of greatness. She's the only one out of all the celebrities that I was like, I'm in the presence of greatness. Like this woman has lived a fulfilled life and is just a really good human being. So anyway.
Some people think that, like you said, because she was married to him, that makes her, but she's her own greatness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She's her own great. Yeah, because she's a twin engine and single engine pilot. Yeah, she's a pilot. She can fly.
I've never been on a plane. I'm gonna get on one day.
I gotta get on one Thursday. You can come with me if you want.
Hey, bring some information back though, because I'm in a play in November.
Yeah,
and it's basically has something to do with human trafficking.
Oh yeah,
I play a cop.
You're gonna play a cop,
and I actually help rescue.
Oh, and on that front,
yeah,
on that same front, Office Joe, the series will be coming out here pretty soon. That's why I play
my name in the play.
Joe?
Joanne, but it's Joe.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we'll be there with that. Anyway, guys, sorry for that side note there. We'll get into today's show, which is brought to you by ghostbed.com. Sleep so good, it's scary. If you're having a hard time at night, I always say mental wellness and mental health starts with a good night's sleep. That's why we're proud to be sponsored with Ghostbed at ghostbed.com/Wolfpack. Dude, go get those pillows. I just got another one. I just bought another. You cannot have enough Ghostbed pillows, and at 50% off, why not? It is the best gift on the planet Earth. Like if you've got an extra 50 bones right now, go buy somebody special a Ghostbed. Like these are the most gnarly pillows. I have a My Pillow because my kids got it from skateboarding. It's fucking garbage. Like it's not even like a real pillow. These Ghostbed pillows are insane. They got the cooling technology, so if you get hot like we do here in North Carolina, these things stay cool. They almost feel wet. Like it's weird when you get on them with like when I'll lay in them, I'll be like, oh shit, my hair's still wet from the shower. No, it's just how cool the pillow is.
I need to get one.
I'll just get you one. I gotta get you one. That's my fault.
Yeah, my head be sweating at night.
We have to get you one. Before we leave, let's get you one. Let's get a Ghostbed. That's the box right there. That's the one. The pillows that come in those boxes. God, they're insane, and they get that like memory foam kind of technology. You get small, medium, hard, whatever. They also got the massage topper, the cooling mattresses, the adjustable bases, the zero gravity massage modes, everything you need to get a good night's sleep, so you don't have to struggle with PTSD and all the other bullshit. You can sleep like a celebrity, and you can sleep like Khalil Ali. I bet you she sleeps on a ghost bed because it's literally facilities right down from where she lives. A conservative aunt, I got to go to the ghost bed facility. It's really cool. And then we also have factormeals.com/Wolfpack50, 50% off. Meal planning to the next level. Chef prepared, never frozen, delivered right to your door. Fresh and never frozen, fresh and never frozen. Some people are like, what are they, like frozen dinners? I'm like, what part of fresh and never frozen don't you fucking understand? And I'm sorry to swear in your presence because I know you don't like it.
I mean, it's words. As long as it's not to me, it flies right on by. Now, if you said me, I'm like,
yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm like, fresh, never frozen means they're never frozen. These meals have never been frozen. They're prepared by an actual chef. Bring up the screen. They're beautiful. They come pre-packaged. You throw them in the microwave for 2 minutes, even if you got one of those peasant microwaves at your bullshit corporate job or your government job where they don't care about you, the employee. They don't care about your lunch break. So they buy you that Walmart piece of shit
3 buttons
microwave with 3 buttons where the popcorn thing fucking burns your popcorn every time. These These will be done in 2 minutes, even in that peasant microwave, and they're good to go, ready. If you want protein heavy, you want to get swollen, jacked. If you want to get lean and mean, go calorie conscious. You want to do vegetarian, vegan, whatever. The protein heavy is 50 grams of protein plus, calorie conscious, like less than 500 calories. So there's a meal for you out there. Just head over to factormeals.com/Wolfpack50 for 50% off. That's factormeals.com/Wolfpack50. All right. First big story of the night. Well, the first big story was a Khalil Ali story. Second big story is this whole Taylor Swift terrorist plot. Are you familiar with this at all?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
I checked it out, but I don't really follow Taylor Swift like that.
No,
I did read it up on it, and somebody was planning on killing as many people as they could, and
yeah.
Thing, and he posted like a pledge to his whatever that he's gonna carry it out, whatever. So
yeah, it's getting kind of crazy. Now, I don't know how much you're following politics, and listen, like the society and culture news, but we're in the political season. We're less than 106 days from the election, so everything gets hyper politicized this time of year. But the UK right now is going through an unprecedented, I hate that word, but it really is. Oh, I don't know. Is it unprecedented? Has England ever had riots like that? Yeah, I'm sure they have, right? Of course, every country has. I'm not up on my fucking UK history knowledge. But anyway, if you haven't been following what's going on in the UK, there is a right-wing protest going on about anti-Muslim, anti-immigrants, because for the last 20 years, immigrants have just been flooding into Europe and have been taking over. Now, my wife lived in France, and her aunt was born and raised in France, speaks French, and moved to the United States because, in her words, the Muslims kicked her out of her neighborhood.
Oh.
Like white French women were not welcome in the neighborhood that she was already in. So she said that the Muslims had already taken over. She was really upset. She moved to rural North Carolina, up in the mountains, up in the Appalachian Mountains. And that's where she's at. But she was telling us, and I mean, she told me this 15, 16 years ago when I first met her, the family and everything. And she was telling me that's why she fled France, because it's just France itself was being overtaken by Muslims. And so over the last 20 years, we've kind of seen this like huge surge of immigrants flooding across London and the river there and everything. And so anyway, remember when Ariana Grande, there was a terrorist attack, Islamic extreme terrorists blew up the crowd at the in Manchester. It was the Manchester Arena bombing. Let's see what Wikipedia says about it really fast. Manchester Arena bombing. A Manchester Arena attack was an Islamic terrorist suicide bombing of Manchester Arena on 22nd May 2017 following a concert by American pop singer Ariana Grande, perpetrated by Islamic extremist Salam Abedid and aided by his brother Hashim Abdid. The bombing occurred at 10:31. It destroyed the arena's foyer. It was the deadliest attack of terrorism and the first suicide bombing in the United Kingdom since 2005. The perpetrator was motivated by deaths of Muslim children resulting in the American-led intervention in the Syrian civil war. He was carrying a large backpack. Do we know how old that guy was? Abedid? Can you look that up for me?
Give me a second.
While you're looking that up, and you can just interrupt me whenever you have it. But anyway, it was a big bombing, and it was an Islamic attack, just like we had our big Islamic attack here in the United States with the World Trade Center and things. So there's like this kind of like anxiety going on towards it. And then all of a sudden we have another, it kind of looks like, they're being very vague about this. And it's not the whole point of tonight's episode. So I didn't do this isn't the part I have researched, but I know enough about it. I can talk about it because we have our political show. Yeah. So in Southport, the 3 little girls were killed in this big knife attack. And the first reports that came out were that he was an illegal immigrant Muslim, and they're saying that that's fake news, and anybody that reports on fake news or anti-Muslim or anti-person of color will be arrested. And they're actually rounding up Brits from social media like crazy. Like it's really big. Did you figure that out for me yet, Deadleg?
23
years old, so super young, right? And the attackers in the stabbing that just happened in England or in Southport was 17, two 17-year-olds and a 19-year-old, I believe. I'll go through it here in a second. But super young Muslim, fighting age males, right? So, of course, people are protesting and they want safer streets, safer cities. They're tired of this Muslim takeover. But the parliament and all the patriarchy is kind of like gaslighting everybody, dumbing it down and saying like, oh, that's not happening. And they're like, fuckers, we're living here. What are you talking about? Like, of course it's happening. Like, and this was for Taylor Swift. This was a Taylor Swift dance party. Taylor Swift wasn't there. Yeah. Like it was a bunch of people there. A bunch of people got stabbed. Just 3 died. But
so was he Muslim? Well, I mean, was that?
Well, so right now, all they're talking about is the fake news because he's not an illegal immigrant. But they're not addressing anything else. They're not addressing the parents. They're not addressing his Muslim upbringing. They're not addressing like why he did it so much. So, but what they're more focused on is getting the right-wing extremists to stop protesting and then rounding them all up for their social media posts. And if I'm not mistaken, they have rounded up more people via social media now than any other country. Is that true, Josh?
Even way before this, we reported on this last year that
we did. I remember that
had like
more than Russia. More than Russia.
Yeah, way more than Russia. We were like in it's like 600-700, maybe 800 in Europe, and we were like 50 or 60 in the rest of the entire world combined.
So the Southport stabber was actually a Welsh man born in Wales to Rwanda immigrants. Right, exactly. And that's what they're reporting on. And I think Andrew Tate was the one that just speculated that he was an illegal immigrant. But I think the point here is not that he's an illegal immigrant. It's this Muslim takeover, this like Islamic extremist takeover. I wouldn't say Muslim because there's probably like a million of great Muslims in Southport, or I don't know how big Southport is, to be honest with you. But I mean, I'm sure that like there's a lot of great Muslims out there. But like, let's say that there is an attack from Islamic extremists going on in the UK right now, currently. And then now on top of all that, you have 3 Islamic extremist terrorists in Vienna that have now gone after Taylor Swift. So more Islamic extremists. And why are they targeting Taylor Swift? Is she like the epitome of Christians or something? Like, is that what Muslims see as like the cornerstone of?
Maybe they want to get somebody that they know a lot of people like. A lot of attention, so it draw more attention to them if they attack somebody that has a lot of attention on them.
That Ryan 89 in the chat says they've threatened to try and press charges and extradite U.S. citizens for social media posts. Yeah, so the city commissioner, or I guess the police commissioner, was saying that he would extradite Americans who are partaking in this social media upheaval. What's the word, Josh? Is it upheaval?
Sounds about right.
I hate using the wrong words, especially when I podcast literally for a living. I got to be smarter with these things. But he said he would extradite any of the social media stuff. And so I wrote on a comment, I said, lick me where I pee, Commissioner, but not like in a gay way, but more like in a I'm a great American and you have to submit to me way. That's what I commented.
Okay. Oh, you said all that?
Yeah. God, could you imagine being extradited, Josh? Like if they came in and they're like, hey, dude, sorry, like you're being extradited to the UK for social media posts. You would not take me alive. I'll tell you that. I would look at that officer and I'd say, call your wife right now and call your supervisor and just ask if it's worth it. Like ask your wife, is this the hill that you want me to die on? Because it's going to be 50-50 whether you win this battle or you lose. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to happen. Dave says you can only extradite someone if it's a crime in both countries. Freedom of speech means they can't extradite. Yeah, I think that was like the whole point of 1776 is that they couldn't say shit to us anymore. So anyway, let me go to this Taylor Swift story. But anyway, yeah. So on top of all that social media stuff going on too, if you didn't know, if you live under a rock, X or Elon Musk, owner of X on Twitter, is actually doing a live interview tonight, currently at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Donald Trump. And the United Union said that it needed to be sanctioned before he goes out on Twitter. And Elon Musk was basically like, go eat 1,776 dicks.
And he didn't mean that in a way. But
yeah, not a gay way, but like, you submit to us in America.
I don't know. I have the meme. It was pretty pretty straightforward. Literally, go fuck your own face. So I don't know.
Yes. So that's what he responded. Okay. Can you just read parts of this letter that the EU wrote? Like the all date, like this is how detached these fucking patriarchy, European wig wearing fancy farts. This is like how detached they are from reality here in the United States and the way we do shit. Listen to this stupid fucking letter from the European Commission to Elon Musk. Read a little bit of that for us.
As you know, formal proceedings are already ongoing against X under DSA, notably in areas linked to disinformation of illegal content and effectiveness of measures taken to combat disinformation. Let me clarify that any negative effect of illegal content on X in the EU, which could be attributed to ineffectiveness of a way of which X applies to relevant provisions of the DSA, may be relevant in the context of this ongoing proceedings and overall assessment of X compliances with EU law.
Right. And it goes on and on and on. Yep. And Elon responds with a meme that says, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face. It's Tom Cruise from Tropic Thunder. Teresa Flaubert says wig wearing fancy farts. I always say like a person who wears a wig, would you say that person is a wig with an ER on the end? Because they wear wigs?
I used to wear wigs, so.
You get it? Yeah.
I get it.
You get the joke? She's giving me that look. Ooh, Lord. Wayne says, are we really even worried? 95% of Swifties are crazier and more ruthless than any terror. You know what it sucks though, dude, is I know so many Swifties and I'm a Swiftie. Lázaro Lopez is a Swiftie. I don't know if Swifties are as crazy as you think they are. Like, yeah, there are some outliers, but like, remember the Beatles? There was some like crazy fucking Beatles fans. There's also some like normal Beatles fans too. So I'm not anti-Swiftie so much. Listen, they're entertainers. They're going to have their own politics. And we don't have to agree on politics, but just because I don't agree on your politics doesn't mean I have to hate you. But let me read this. This is from Newsweek magazine. A third suspect has been arrested in connection with the foiled terror plot leading to the cancellation of 3 Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna. Dude, what is Josh, I don't know if you know this, you probably don't, but you can speculate. What is the financial repercussions of 3 canceled Taylor Swift shows? I know that she did almost $1 billion, $1 billion with a B, as in bitch, as in Great Britain's patriarchy bitches, billions.
According to Yahoo, it says approximately 13.6 million per concert. So it's roughly 39, $40 million, $50 million, somewhere in that range.
$40 million loss for Vienna. Fuck, man. According to the Associated Press, the arrest was announced by Austrian. How about another shrimp on the bobby, mate? I'm just kidding. It's Austrian Interior Ministry Gerhard Karner this morning. In an unrelated press conference, Karner revealed that the 18-year-old suspect was arrested Thursday in the Austrian capital after he was believed to be in contact with the main suspect in the case. 2 other suspects, 19 and 17 years old, were arrested Tuesday in connection with the planned terror attack, which was believed to have been inspired by the Islamic State group ISIS, which I thought we defeated ISIS. Wasn't it? What president said we defeated ISIS? Was that Obama? Yeah. Who's the president that says we have defeated ISIS? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm Googling.
Okay. Anyway, find that out for me. And Al-Qaeda, AP reported a 15-year-old was also interrogated but not investigated. Bomb-making material was found in the home of one of the suspects, according to officials who say he confessed to a plan to kill as many people as possible outside the concert venue. Yeah, it was Obama. I fucking knew it. Yeah, Obama was, it was like famous. He was like, we have defeated ISIS. Apparently not. Not in Vienna. Maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe ISIS is, I don't know. Maybe he's gone from the United States. I don't know. Authorities believe he was planning the attack since July, and AP reports, I don't get these. They uploaded an oath and allegiance to the leader of ISIS in a recent post, But I always get sketched out going into stadiums. I went to that Pirates game in Pittsburgh, which was awesome. And that's all I could think about was like, you know, you're going over that walkway, the bridge, one of the Three Rivers stadium, the Three Rivers bridges, you know, the big yellow one that you're going over from downtown Pittsburgh into the stadium area. I mean, there's no way off the bridge. You can fucking jump, but like the crowd is so thick, you can't go forward or backwards. And there's no security to get onto the bridge or anywhere near the bridge. So that's kind of like, and there's not a lot of cops, not a lot of security. I didn't like it. I didn't feel good about it. So I'm really great. I'm really grateful to the Austrian Secret Service. I'm just kidding. I don't know the Austrian detectives who discovered this case. Cause I mean, realistically here, like it's a big fucking deal. Like whoever caught these guys and exposed that plan should probably get a raise.
Yeah.
Since our government can't even keep one fucking 20-year-old dumbass off of a fucking roof 125 meters from the president to lay up there all fucking day while he sights in his rifle, takes a couple of practice shots, and then shoots the fucking president incumbent in the fucking ear. Which, by the way, we're going to cover that on Wednesday's political show, the new body camera footage. Have you seen that, Deadleg? Have you seen the new body camera footage where he's like, I told the fucking Secret Service to be up on this roof? Have you seen that?
That one or the one that's from behind the stage where you can see him running around on the roof the entire time while Trump's still talking?
Well, yeah, that one's big one. Yeah, that was a big one. But the one where he was like, the cops are kind of, and then the cop that like runs back to his car on body camera, and he's like, he fucking put his gun in my face. And dude, it's crazy. Yes. Will Cray in the chats, he says the new body camera footage is wild. It is absolutely wild. All right, let's move on. Anyway, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, like, I mean, this is big news, guys, because here it is. And this is truly what I believe. I don't care what UK wants to tell you about. They're not going to have a civil war, and that's silly, and that's, you know, that's stupid and outrageous and fake news. I'll tell you what, you blow up because she's going to London next. Taylor Swift is going. Fact check me on that, Josh. Her next show's in London, correct? Her next show's in London, I'm pretty sure. We'll find out here in a second if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in the next at least 2 weeks she'll be in London. Let a fucking Islamic terrorist do some shit. Where is it?
Wembley, United Kingdom. You are correct.
Of course. I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always fucking right. April Collins says, what's up in the chat? Hey, what's up, April? So let's something. Here's my point to this. My Tanstradamus prediction to this. If a fucking Islamic terrorist blows up or shoots, stabs, rapes anybody at the Taylor Swift concert in the UK, they will have a fucking civil war. And the Swifties will have flipped to far right conservatives at that point. Because you fuck with Tay-Tay.
They're going to get you lay.
Yeah.
Somebody said they don't have the, pray they don't have the Rona.
What?
Said pray they don't have the Rona day. Yeah.
Oh, y'all pray I don't have the Rona. I'm at a MED at a med right now, a med stop right now. No, I'm sure you don't, bro. I mean, it's probably like COVID 26 or 24. Dr. Fauci, by the way, got COVID for his third time, and he's got 6 boosters. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I ain't damn booster, no shot of nothing.
I got nothing. Dude, I'm pure blood, actually. I'm a pure blood.
I didn't have COVID one time, though.
I do. I mean, I think everybody in the whole world got COVID at least once. Or
I
AKA.
sneezed on. That's how I got mine.
Huh?
A coworker sneezed.
Yeah, but I mean,
I got it.
You think about, like, you get sick at least every 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
You know, super bad flu. And anytime somebody gets the flu, they say it's the worst it's ever been. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm still not all down with like the whole COVID thing yet. I haven't figured it out. I'm not saying like it didn't exist, because obviously it did. I just don't know if it existed on the scale that our government wants to think is. I think some people got COVID and then everybody else got the flu. And they tried to wrap it all into one.
But do you think that it was put out there? I mean, like somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our government had a big thing to do with it. Davey says a Catholic church in Buffalo, New York, St. Anna's Church, was sold for $250K to an Islamic community. It's now being converted into a mosque. Well, yeah. Sure. What? Quick fact check on this for me real fast before we jump on to this next story. How many Christian terrorists have just gone in and blown shit up? Like suicide vest, fucking mass casualty, all in the name of Jesus Christ. No, nothing. You got nothing for me?
Yeah, I think we have to go back to the gunpowder plot of 1605.
Oh,
are you joking or is that real?
No, that's when you're looking for Christian terrorism, and then
Well, it says Ku Klux Klan down there too, but I don't know. Can you count the Ku Klux Klan? Were they doing that for religious purposes, or I guess burning crosses?
Yeah. Then they denounced all these different.
But we got rid of the fucking Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get rid of. Well, maybe we got rid of ISIS too. Who knows? Anyway, I just thought that was a strange tidbit to bring up really fast. Doesn't look like Christians are the ones running around. The ones that are making the social media posts aren't the ones rolling around with, bomb vests on, fucking people up. Real quick, let's jump into this Joe Rogan lawsuit. Did you read about this at all?
Yes.
This is wild.
I watched the clip.
30 $million. $30 million. What you need to know here is, he's finally suing in NBC, and I think he should have done it sooner because they put out all that fake news about him, for, again, mainstream media, who's all about fake news. They tried to ruin his career. They tried to ruin him, defame his name, and talk about him trying to get other people to take horse dewormer. And that's just not true. That's not.
Said he took it. He said he didn't take it though. He said he can afford human medicine.
Yeah, but I mean, ivermectin is human medicine that can also be used as a horse dewormer.
Okay,
but it has the Nobel Peace Prize, right? Am I right? Like the Pulitzer Prize, the Pulitzer Peace Prize, whatever. One of the Peace Prize for ivermectin for being like the fucking magic drug. It's like one of the very few drugs that women can take while they're pregnant. And it's super cheap.
It's a human drug, but you can use it for horse dewormer.
Yeah, you can. It's used for lots of things, actually. Go ahead, read it.
Listed on the COVID-19 treatment guidelines now of December.
Now it is. Now it is, because the reason why they didn't put it on there before was because Big Pharma wasn't making any money off of ivermectin. They needed to make all of their money off of this fucking vaccine. And then and they made everybody else look like assholes that wanted to push ivermectin. And now on their fucking website, it's a treatment for COVID-19. So the woman who came into my bar and told me, no, tell me you're not one of those horse dewormer guys. Oh, I expect an apology. I'm not going to get one, but you should give me an apology for making me seem like a fucking moron when in reality, you were the one that got duped, not me. I'm on the right side of history, as they say. I hate that term too, by the way. Okay, so then they go on to fuck with Joe Rogan again. By the way, Joe Rogan, the most successful podcaster on the planet, crushing mainstream radio on every show that he's done for however many years he's been doing it. It's been like at least 8 years. God damn it. Fact check me on that one too, Deadleg. How long has Joe Rogan been podcasting? Because I don't want to just say things and people be like, Joe Rogan was not podcasting for 8 years. Fake news, Eric. I always fact check myself. I pay somebody hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month just to sit here and tell me that I'm wrong.
As of August 9th, Joe Rogan has 2,186 episodes starting back from December 24th, 2009. He was on YouTube from 2013 to present, and Spotify deal went from 2020 to present.
So over 8 years.
Well over 8 years.
Well over 8 years. So I'm good. So I just exaggerated in the wrong direction. But you don't care about that. You would only care as if he had podcasted for 7 years and 6 months, they would have been like, actually, Joe Rogan has not been podcasting that long. Of course, you guys in the chat's just like the fuck. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know the type. All right, so he's got hundreds of millions of dollar deals for podcasting, and now he's going after mainstream media for $30 million because of these fake news clips. I'm going to play all this out for you because it's easier that way. So I pulled this off of another podcast. I pulled this off of. I always like to give a shout out to who I pulled it off of, but I don't know at the moment. I don't know who I pulled this off of. I apologize. Put it in the show notes later, Deadleg, if you can.
$50 million lawsuit against a massive mainstream news outlet after MSNBC purposely doctored footage from his podcast to make it sound like Joe Rogan was endorsing Kamala Harris for president. First, we're going to show the full 2-minute clip of Joe Rogan and Michael Malice discussing Kamala Harris on his podcast, followed by the 60-second version edited and uploaded by MSNBC,
I'm gonna
broken down by
Tulsi.
Human mind, you know, that we're agility of the human mind.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Is the gaslighting. Gaslighting is what bothers me.
Well, it all bothers me. It all bothers me, the fragility of the human mind. You know, that so everybody forever was like, Kamala Harris is the worst vice president. She's the least popular vice president of all.
By the way, fact check here. Kamala Harris had the lowest approval rating of any vice president in history.
All time. And
fact check me one more time on that, Dad. Like, I know we've done this before, but like, just make sure I got that right.
Then in a moment in time, all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a
Oh, here, let me,
all of a sudden she's our solution. She's our hero. Everybody's with her. All these social media posts about her. Try Googling a negative story on her. You won't find one.
So,
ta-da!
Okay, you've got me started, Officer Harris. They've been doing this live for years. So in 2019, our pal Tulsi absolutely nuked her in that second debate. And if you looked at charts at the time, she's kind of, Officer Harris is like doing okay. First debate, she comes out.
That was the most embarrassing debate I've ever seen. I'll keep playing this, but Tulsi Gabbard murdered her in that debate. And it was like, that was one of the first time where I was like, oh, this is why we have debates, so that you can see how fucking stupid somebody is. And after this debate, her approval rating, she went to like everybody was like, oh God.
Joe Biden, you're a racist. The Democrats were looking for an alternative to Bernie Sanders. That wasn't Biden. She starts going up in the polls, right? Second debate comes out. Tulsi, being a good Hawaiian, knows how to roast the pig. Just completely slams her. Not only that, she has no counterpunch. She goes on Anderson Cooper and she's like, well, I'm a top tier candidate, so of course people are going to take shots at me. That's her answer. She immediately starts going down in the polls. It's that day. You can see it on the chart I have in my Twitter. All the articles at the time that did an autopsy on Kamala Harris's failed campaign didn't mention Tulsi once.
Yeah.
It was BBC, LA Times, Reuters, New Yorker. A guy from the Washington Post just did a piece looking back on her campaign, didn't mention Tulsi either. They completely pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, it just shows you that what they're looking for is not what they say they're looking for.
Yes.
Because she is a strong woman. She is a person who served overseas twice. She in a medical unit, so she got to see people blown up by the war. She was a congresswoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
She is a person of color. She's everything you want. All those things you want. And yet you don't want her.
Because she's not for war.
Yes. Well, she's also just not willing to play ball. There's a game that's being played. Yes. And if you're like, hey, you're not supposed to fucking move the ball. Like, oh, look at this bitch over here. Like, get out of here. You're going to fuck up our game. It's not real democracy. It's controlled parties.
I think Joe Rogan's comments there.
I love this. That guy Ryan says Tulsi Gabbard murdered her so bad Hillary tried calling Tulsi a Russian asset. But yeah, I mean, like, he's got a point. Like Tulsi Gabbard, she's all the things, all the things that the Democrat Party wants, but they'll never take her. Hang on, let me finish playing this out real fast.
We're absolutely.
Oh, hang on. Let me get to the. Oh, did we delete that one? Did I not put all three of them on there?
No, there's 3 of them down there. Which one do you want?
Where's the third one?
There should be 3. It shows up down there.
I don't know. Which one was it? Was it this one? Oh God, I'm so embarrassed.
This is not reflective at all of the truth of what Joe Rogan said. And I think MSNBC has since taken this post down. But what's really serious here is that not only does Joe Rogan deserve an apology, there's actually something far bigger at stake here. This is yet another example of how MSNBC is working hand in glove with the Democrat elite and the Kamala Harris campaign to try to spread lies, simply things that are not true. So what this means is MSNBC is a for-profit corporation. They are helping Kamala Harris's election campaign, and what they are doing through their platform would qualify as an in-kind contribution to her campaign. It's worth a lot of money.
So for those of you who have no idea what's going on here, MSNBC ran a clip, an ad from Joe Rogan's show, making it look like Joe Rogan was endorsing Kamala.
What?
I'm sorry. Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Station?
Huh?
You need mouth to mouth resuscitation?
You just want to kiss me. That it was making it look like Joe Rogan wanted to endorse Kamala Harris, and it was completely taken out of context. It was complete fake news, and they since had taken it down right off of the bat. But what Tulsi Gabbard's saying is, well, like, hey, wait a minute, like that means you're literally working for Kamala Harris. Like you're a for-profit news organization working for Kamala Harris. That means like you have to be playing by the rules, and you're not. So now do we fine you, or like how does this work? Can we play it out?
Doing this should require the Federal Elections Commission that manages campaign spending and campaign finance, require them to report this as an in-kind campaign contribution, or to be punished for abusing their position in trying to use their platform that has nothing to do with journalism. It is purely a propaganda platform, and that they are using this in order to try to help Kamala Harris get elected.
And this is not.
But so, what to me was like crazy about this whole thing is that they won, like when Joe Rogan had Peter McCullough, Dr. McCullough, on his podcast, who was like the leading CDC, held the patent for mRNA technology, and he had him come on and break down the whole story about the vaccine. From his own words, from the man who helped create the entire vaccine, who was head of the CDC. And the government was like, oh shit. And then that's when they ran that first news story about Joe Rogan being a racist and using the N-word back in the day, and his use of the N-word, which, by the way, I still don't think his use of the N-word was ever racist. When you go back and you watch the clips, that was fake news too. He was saying, why can't we say, and then he used the N-word in conversation. Like if we're having a discussion about what was being said, you're telling me I have to say N-word. Like even if we're talking about historical references, I have to say N-word. That's childish. That's stupid. You should, like, we're all grown people here. Like I'm not using it. And so that was his only use of the N-word, was on that episode, was him saying that. And so they paint this guy out to look like a total racist, make him look like to be a fool, start making fun of him with the horse dewormer shit. And now they're trying to use his shit as if he's some kind of like new reformed Kamala Harris loving liberal. It's sickening, almost as sickening as what they're doing with these. And have you seen this, where they've been photoshopping her rallies to make her rallies look bigger?
No, I haven't seen that.
So they got caught. They've got caught twice, photoshopping and faking, proven fake photoshops to make her rallies look big. How funny is that? Do you have the one picture, Josh? So this is how this one got spotted. There was a bunch of different errors, but if you zoom in, I don't know if you can zoom in for us or not. If you can get this picture on your own things, look at the look. What do you see right there? What do you see right there?
Is that a building?
Yeah, a building, right? What do you see in front of the building? Nothing. So if all these people are standing here, wouldn't they all be in this reflection right here? Wouldn't they be in this mirror?
But you know, and I don't know if I'm not telling about a secret, but when people have like shows or they have like release parties and stuff, they get all the people to sit in a certain area. The place don't have maybe 50 people in it, but when they take
yeah, sure, yeah.
look like it's full.
Well, that's different than this. This is literally like there's literally zero people in the mirror, zero.
They probably were right there.
And so they just took a picture of a crowd and photoshopped it in. There wasn't anybody there. There's zero people in there. This is fake. They just dropped this in.
Even there?
No, they dropped this in. This is photoshopped in. And there's other ways that they've broken this down to show you that it's photoshopped. Yeah, my Facebook dinged as fake news for this same picture. Yeah, well now it is. What was the other one that they just posted that they got caught on?
There was one from, I don't have it, but it was one from inside the stadium. And then you can just literally see people with two hands and got a hand coming out of one of the guy's hair. And then one hand's got like 12 fingers on it. It's, if you pause, you can easily just look at it and start looking for things like we were talking about the reflections or where the light's coming from or the amount of fingers on someone's hands or where everybody has like where their eyes are or their phones. When you're looking at the one picture, you have all these phones are up. And on the screens of the phones, everybody would be taking pictures. So everyone's phone would look the same, but it's not the picture. There's nothing on the phones. It's just an AI generated image of people looking like they're taking a picture, but the picture is not there.
Yeah, and this all comes back, and then they try to gaslight you into telling you that you're not saying like this is fake news, like this is AI, this is probably like this isn't a real picture that we put out. Yes, it is. Like remember when Biden gave that speech live, the historic speech of him stepping down and not being the nominee for the next president, and they literally zoom in on his watch, and his watch is like hours and hours before he actually got up there and speak. And they try to tell you that that's not real. Like the people that are telling you that shit's not real. The same people that tell you that Hunter Biden's laptop's not real. The same people that are telling you that that Ashley Biden's diary's not real. That that ivermectin. All those same people that are saying all those things are the ones lying every single time and getting caught every time. The same ones that are telling you that Breonna Taylor was asleep in her bed and was a nurse. You know what I mean? Like those same people. They're the ones that the gaslighting is so insane going into this election cycle that it's really bothersome. But I'm glad that we're in a day of technology where all this shit can come out. And now the only thing that's going on is like they're trying to retard this. But I really do think that there's like a big government man, like the man is trying to take over. The EU's got it going on. It's like, but it's all coming to a wash. Jake Keefe just walked up in the back. Listen, we're going to cover all of that in gory detail on Wednesday's Last Call Political News show. Last story of the night, really quick. Were you ever a That 70s Show fan?
Yes,
you were.
You
love that show? Huh?
Yeah, I love the show.
I liked it a lot. It was a little too close to home because Eric, his dad, Red, was exactly my dad, and his mom is exactly my mom. Wow. So like it was a little scary for me to watch it.
I didn't know the names. I mean,
right? And who does?
When I looked it up, I was like, "What?" Yeah.
So Danny Masterson. If you'll put up his picture, if you have it real quick. I don't know. Yeah, there he is. Who played, what was that character's name?
Oh, that I don't know.
Fez's best friend. You guys know him. For the audio listeners, somebody in the chats help me out. What was that character? What was Masterson's character's name in the 70s show? Hyde. That's what it was. Hyde. So anyway, he got arrested, sentenced, found guilty for rape. And I believe he got like 30 years, something like that. Was it 30 years?
Yep, 30 years for two different women.
Listen, guys, unlike like mainstream media, I'm not reading off of a fucking teleprompter or Googling shit while we talk. I literally do all this research all week long and then put it into my brain and then try to regurgitate it in story form. So if you're listening to this for actual news purposes, you're the fucking retard. I'm just giving you enough information to make you interested in these topics, and then you can go and do all the research yourself. I'm just putting this shit out there so while you're at home with your daughter, Mr. Law Enforcement Officer, your daughter doesn't want to become trans because daddy didn't have the time for her. You know what I'm saying? Because daddy didn't want to talk about Taylor Swift with her. Daddy didn't want to talk about the 70s show. Like, I'm giving you something to be relatable to your fucking family so that your wife doesn't go out and blow your neighbor because you're boring as fucking all you talk about is dead babies and domestic violence. So Hyde, was it 30 years?
Yeah, 30 years. Yes, sir.
30 years. Just got moved to a maximum security prison. Like, super crazy. They denied his bond and his bail. And, you know, I don't know why the story stuck out to me so much, but maybe it's because he's a celebrity. But imagine going from being Hyde, major celebrity, with a couple millies in the bank. He's worth a couple million, right? At the time, I'm sure. And you got pretty much everything given to you on a silver platter. And now you're sitting in a maximum security prison where you're probably naked a lot, especially if you're on a certain kind of like suicide watch. I mean, you'll be butt ass naked. You don't get to see the light of fucking day. You're in a single solitary cell, most likely. You're on candid camera all the time, which, I mean, that means you're just masturbating on camera. Because, right, we're not going to you're not going to not jerk off. That just means you're going to have to jerk off while some dude's watching you or some chick is watching you at all times. So while you got your finger in your beehole and you're stroking that thing, you know, beating it like it owes you money, another dude's like, look at this fucking pervert right now, like finger blasting his own asshole. Because, I mean, like, if you're in jail for 30 years, I'm sure, like, with no women, you're going to get a little bit.
He turned into a monk.
I'm not turning into a monk. I'm just doing it on camera. I'll get creative, man. Yeah, they'd be like, dude, this guy's got a problem. This guy's addicted. But I didn't rape anybody. I'm not so addicted that I need to rape somebody. But yeah. What's he worth? 8 million?
8 million as of 2024.
Oh, that's probably after like all of his payouts too, huh?
So are they saying that he like drugged them or something, or what did he?
Oh, for the original case?
Yeah, I mean, no, he's saying
No, I think he just straight fucking. No, I think he just straight fucking raped him, like held him down, rape. Right? Was that? I don't know. It's been years since we covered that because it happened a while ago. Right? Deadleg, do you have any quick facts on that case, real quick, before we go?
My Google
is taken forever.
If I remember correctly, though. It was, you always ask me the questions I don't know about these cases. I did all my research on what the maximum prison was like.
He did. His accuser said that they sexually assaulted them in his Hollywood Hills home after giving them alcohol earlier in the evening. So it looks like he may have drugged them.
Oh. Teresa Flover says 30 years. That's a little long considering it's California and the crime. California isn't really set note sentences on that length. I mean, and so I've always questioned those kinds of things. Like, why him? Like, if we know that there's like that one guy's walking around, Harvey Weinstein, didn't they let him out?
Yeah, I think he's out.
Yeah, he's out now. And that was like you want to talk about our last week's episode when we talked about, God, I feel like Joe Biden tonight when we talked about Mandela effects. Like my Mandela effect, I thought Harvey Weinstein was going to fuck you in the ass prison for the rest of his life. Is that just like, did I just make that up?
Now, Harvey Weinstein is the one that had this picture in his.
No, that's Epstein.
Oh, okay, Epstein.
Harvey Weinstein was the dude that was like making women blow him to get parts in movies and shit.
They could have, but they did it right. They could have just said no, right?
I mean, yeah, but then they wouldn't get the movie part.
Right. So,
which is bad too. But I mean, that's not the only thing he did. I mean, Harvey Weinstein got accused of doing a lot of things. Fact check me on that one before you go. Golly, fact check me on that. What did Harvey? I just think it's crazy that Harvey Weinstein's out. But anyway, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a Breonna Taylor type sitch, and I just thought wrong. Like I thought he was like going away.
He was convicted in 2020 of first-degree criminal sexual act and third-degree rape. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison. He's maintained his innocence.
But you say that.
But the other dude's getting 30 years for sexual assault?
Yep. The court let Weinstein out by a 4-3 vote. Ruled in testimony was prior bad acts witnessed should not have been allowed because it was unnecessary to establish the defendant's intent and only served to establish the defendant's prosperity to commit the crimes in charge.
Damn. Dude, there's some it's like these fucking Harvey Weinsteins, like these Epstein lovers, these fucking all these guys that get out, man, and we all just take it. We just take it like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, it's such bullshit. It's such bullshit that Harvey fucking Weinstein, just because he's rich as fuck, or OJ or any of these other rich fucks, can do these crazy things. And then so then why go after Masterson? Like, now you have to ask yourself, what did Masterson know? Did he go to a party he wasn't supposed to go to? Is that why they were fucking throwing away the key and moving him to not giving him any bail? Now they're throwing him away. Like, does he have information on the Illuminati or something that he was going to come with? Hyde is involved with the Scientology and protected in ways finances aren't an issue. Yeah, but then why are they putting him away? Why are they putting him in a maximum security prison and not giving him any bond or any bail while he tries for his appeals or any of the other bullshit for sexual assault? But this Harvey Weinstein dude who's getting a first-degree rape charge, doing 20 years, and then they're just dropping all of it like, no big fucking deal. Like, when we all know that Harvey Weinstein's a piece of shit. Woody Allen and all those other fucks that are... Who's the dude that married his fucking daughter? His adopted daughter?
His own daughter?
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah, adopted her at 5, married her at 18.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, that wasn't Woody Allen though. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then Roman Polanski was it? Jesus. Keep up, dead leg. Woody Allen married his daughter, correct?
Oh man.
I think so.
It was Woody Allen married his daughter, adopted his daughter at 5 years old, divorced his wife, and then married her right after her 18th birthday or 19th birthday, which means they've probably been fucking hooking up for some kind of time. Like, what an absolute piece of shit Woody Allen is. What a fucking worthless dirtbag. And then what was the other guy, Roman Polanski? Is he the one? I don't want to associate people's names. Yeah, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is where he adopts her, and then that's them married now. How fucked up is that?
Yeah, that very.
You want to tell me that this isn't grooming? Fuck out of here, you Holly weirdos. God dog it. Yeah, wormhole engaged is right. And then was it Roman Polanski that got caught and fled the country? And then like France, he's still making fucking films too. He had to flee to France. He's been exiled from America. He can't come back. And if he does, he goes like straight to jail. But France is like hiding him and he's still making movies.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Roman Polanski faces new laws to alleged rape minors in the 1970s. But he got found guilty, fled the United States. France held him. Like, it wouldn't extradite him, and that bitch is still making fucking movies. And he raped like a bunch of kids. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy our society and pop culture news. If there's anything that you guys want to see on the show, you can go to Uncuffed, or you can just go to Filler Stop on Instagram. Leave us a little DM. Help us out. Help us find new articles for the show. But if you want to see Margaret come to life, be in Orlando October 18th, and we'll see you back here Wednesday for political news. We'll have a lot for you guys. Thursday I'll be in Tejas, and then Friday I don't know what's going to happen Friday because I'm going to be in Tejas with some pretty awesome people, and I don't know if I'm going to get a podcast. I'm taking some equipment with me, see what I can lock down. I don't know what's going on. It was a last minute ordeal. I was said like, hey, there's a thing going on in Glenn Beck's Mercury One. We want you to go. Do you want to go? I was like, absolutely. And now I'm going to Dallas, Texas, and I will give you more updates on that. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't really know. I asked last night, and then I got a text message this morning that said, do you want to go to a rodeo on Thursday night? So the night before we do this whole thing at Mercury One and Blaze TV, now I guess we're going to go to a rodeo. So that's the way these people roll, man. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's all good things for Failure to Stop. And, give some Failure to Stop. For those of you who are out there in the chats, give us a 5-star rating and review on Apple, iTunes, Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. Slick Montana says, there are some people finding public glory holes, although famous and having lots of money. The excitement of being caught. Yeah. Oh, these are the same people finding public glory holes, which is crazy because we're not allowed to break up glory holes. When I was a cop, we knew that there was a public glory hole.
The glory hole is where they go.
Yeah, you cut a hole in the wall and the guy sticks his dilly through there and the girl on the other side does unchristian things to it. But we would know that they were having them at the sex shop because they would post it out on Reddit, and it would be like live glory hole event, 8 different women, and they wouldn't let us go bust it.
Why not?
I don't know. I never got the answer to it. We weren't allowed to go run license plates in the we could run license plates at Food Lion. We could run the license plates at CVS Pharmacy, Harris Teeter, but we could not drive through sex shops and run tags there.
No telling who was in there. Some dogs.
Yeah. Maybe a rich pastor or a governor or,
I think so.
A lawyer type, principles. Yeah. Anyway, it's a strange world we're living in.
Police chiefs.
But now I want a shirt that says Margs with Marg with like a little margarita cup on it.
Okay.
Make it real gay.
Okay.
Like I'm having Margs with Marg.
I got the rainbow.
No, not like literally gay, but like I'm having Margs with Marg, and then like maybe you and I go out for margaritas, and I wear that shirt, like a neon green shirt, and it says I'm having Margs with Marg.
I'm having Margs with Marg.
Margaritas with Margs with Margaret.
Okay.
And then you and I have to go out for an actual margarita. You don't drink margaritas, though, do you?
I will.
All right, we'll get one of those fishbowl margaritas. Oh God, we'll be the talk of the town.
You would start a thing like this right here.
Yeah, like one of the fishbowl. We'll put 2 straws in. We'll sit across from each other. We'll get pictures. People. Oh, we will be the talk of the town. Oh my gosh.
Oh Jesus.
I love this. All right, guys. I'm about to go have Margs with Marg. We'll send you pics. Until the next time, guys. Bonita, Morgan, what's up? Guns. Oh no.
April.
I don't know. What do we say? How do we say goodnight on Society and Culture News? Like peace. Like how do we sign off? Deuces. Oh.
Designated driver.
Exactly.
We'll shimmy shoulders.